All right. Great evening. Great evening. I want to thank everybody again for showing up this evening. Again, taking the time out during your holidays. I know you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me today, so I really appreciate it. And guys, like the message that I sent out today was simply saying, finish the year strong. I think that's really important. I think around these times, too many people take their foot off the gas at the wrong time. And it's always then where you could really be getting the most out of, the most out of the opportunity, the most out of the time. I remember being a young man experiencing the 2008 crash. Like that was my first time ever experiencing anything like that. I was scared out of my mind. I thought the world was coming to an end. But as time goes on, you mature, you get to see how things really work. I got to understand how market cycles work. I learned a lot. In those times. And I remember I promised myself that I said, if these times ever come around again, I would be prepared. I would be ready to take advantage. So I just continued to prepare myself. I learned as much as I could, flew to Greece to get certified in blockchain technology and just really learned this craft and kept learning and kept understanding the space that we were in. And then, the opportunity presented itself. My mentor for over 20 years, gave me a call and say, they called me Trey. They said, I got an idea that I think might work. She was in Miami training real estate agents for PMG, a big developer in Miami. And she was teaching their agents how to do blockchain technology in the domain of real estate. And she had a light bulb moment. And she said, why I don't have to just teach this, I can actually do this. And that's how Tokenize Assets was born, from an idea, conversation, and then a whole lot of action behind it. And that's what you're seeing. This platform is the combination of years of experience coming together to take advantage of an opportunity that's right in front of us. And that's what we believe that we're going to be doing. So with that being said, let's look at Tokenize Assets and the Tokenize Ambassador platform. So first and foremost, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. So what is our vision? So vision is really simple. It's to empower millions of people with wealth creation through tokenization. Now, what is tokenization? Tokenization enables fractional ownership of illiquid or alternative assets that traditionally require high capital investment and hence have a limited investor base, such as real estate, private securities, and art. Investors can hence benefit from a wider range of asset choices due to increased affordability, facilitating for portfolio diversification, while sellers will benefit from their assets having a greater liquidity. So we look at a report that HSBC, one of the 6 largest banks in the world, is saying that tokenization market could potentially be worth $24 trillion by 2027. 5 short years, we're looking at $1 trillion market. They say we see tokenization as an enabler to lower the barrier of entry for investing for more than half of the world's population. By paring down the minimum investment amount required, DLT, that's distributed ledger technology, can also give investors access to assets that traditionally will require high capital investment like real estate, private securities, or art, augmenting the universe of investment options available. See, because they believe in the advantages of tokenization. So when we look at it, we look at visibility and fractional ownership, high liquidity, accessibility, because we can do this anywhere in the world and more people have access to these investments, speed and cost reduction because of the blockchain, and then new investment in retail models. They go on to say that it is often easier to make something 10x better than it is to make it 10% better. DLT has arrived, propelling the rise of tokenization and thus enabling the market to be 10x more efficient, 10x more inclusive, and 10x more resilient. To do this requires taking the path less trodden and undergoing the risk of failure for the larger payoff. And that's what we believe in. We are out front and we understand that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be smooth sailing, but we believe in the potential of what tokenization is. And it says once a property, real estate fund, or financial instrument is tokenized, the real advantages come into play. Subsequent transactions are instant, nearly free of charge, and if done properly without counterparty risk. This is an absolute game changer for the industry. So again, guys, these are reports that is not going out to Terrell. These are not going out to Dave. These are going out to banking constituents. This is what they're telling their constituents, that the time is now. You have to act now. And then you look at more evidence, right? We say success leaves clues. BlackRock CEO says the next generation of markets is tokenization, right? If you're familiar with BlackRock, you know, one of the largest hedge funds in the world, close to $9 trillion under management. These are the people that are talking about tokenization because they understand what's coming, right? So when we look at what has been the problem, right? Everybody wants to earn money from real estate investment. Less than 20% have the cash or credit to do so, right? Millions are priced out until now. So we look at the traditional model. We have the hedge funds, we have the investors, we have the good credit guys. These people monopolize the system and are able to take out the majority of the properties and make all of us renters, basically, right? Or use our money to do loans, whatever the case may be. 70% of society is really priced out or not able to participate. But 70% of the society are the ones that are supplying a lot of the liquidity to these bankers and these other hedge funds in order to go take these properties down. So we believe that now with fractional ownership, with tokenization, now that 70% can now become the largest hedge fund in the world and take down these assets down ourselves. So how can we change the lives of 70% of society? Tokenization has to be the solution, because with tokenization, you take all of your buyers are united. So many small buyers are now participate with your stronger buyers, and now everybody gets to participate. Everybody gets a piece of the pie. You have liquidity, you have more liquidity, you have diversification, and you have democratization of one of the largest asset classes in the world, which is being real estate, and other asset classes will come in the fold as well to be tokenized. Then we look at what does it take to tokenize an asset. So of course you have to have a legal structure. We make sure we follow all the guidelines given to us by the SEC. Every property that we tokenize is put into an LLC. And we filed the exemption with the SEC to make sure that we're in compliance for using the Jobs Act in order to crowdfund in order to do this, right? So step one is you have to have a professional inspection company. So we have a underwriting department that does all of that work for us. And then once a property is approved, we put it under contract, 90-day listing period, just like you would any other real estate model. And then once that property is fully tokenized, then that property is then moved into an LLC. If you're investing in that property, based on your pro rata share of investment, you own that percentage of that then LLC that owns that particular property. So everybody is protected. One of the great things about that structure is that, say something happens to tokenize assets, we go out of business, or whatever the case may be, you never have to worry about your investment being in jeopardy, because it is in a standalone LLC that you control and that you're a member of. So that's how we keep you protected. We are literally just the gateway for your access to these particular assets. So then when we look at our marketplace, so this is our buyer's experience. This is what they see. If you guys are familiar with multiple listing services, this is basically what we've created. We've created a multiple listing service on the blockchain, right? So all the token holders earn a piece of the pie, whether we're, the assets we're selling, renting, corporate housing, Airbnb, regardless of what the asset is, the income producing asset is. Anyone now is able to participate with as little as $500. So when has that ever been possible? With just $500, you are now a real estate investor that you don't have to worry about dealing with tenants, dealing with repairs. You don't have to do any of those things. You're able to be a passive real estate investor. And then, when we look at the IRR, the internal rate of returns, we're looking at an average of anywhere from 15 to 19%. You'll have your cash on cash anywhere from 5 to 9%, right? So when we look at our buyer's experience, right? So this is the platform. So we'll take a quick look at what that looks like. So this is our marketplace. This is the tokenized marketplace. where you're able to go here and see all the assets that we will have listed. So they'll be listed like this. You'll see the home. We'll have a section for the real estate, and then we also have other alternative assets like marijuana grows, oil wells, and other things that we'll be adding to the platform as well. But say if we have a house that we're looking at, it'll be listed right here. You'll be able to see the target price on the house. You're able to see how many coins need to be raised, the total amount of coins, how many have been sold. And then these are the two that you need to pay attention to. So you'll have your cash on cash return. That is the money that you invested and how much you earned at the end of the year in an annual period. And then you have your IRR, which is your internal rate of return. So that is the cash on cash plus the appreciation of the property. So all of that information on the property will be found back here. You'll see all the pictures, everything that you need to make a decision on the property. You will have it back here. All the descriptions, all the details are here. And say this is a property that you want to tokenize. You will click on tokenize. It'll take you to the pay sheet where you can either pay with USD or you can pay with cryptocurrency. You submit your payment. It's going to give you a receipt of your payment here. And then you can go, and then now you can go into your dashboard. So as an investor, you have a dashboard that's going to basically give you a rundown of all of your portfolio, all of the assets that you own. And it's going to give you in real time what that property is worth, what your tokens are worth, the change in appreciation. All of this stuff will be dynamic, and it will be changing at in real time. And then also the earnings. So say the property that you're invested in, what is your monthly earnings on that particular property? You'll be able to see all of that here. So all of that will be found back here. And then when we get to the point, due to SEC regulations, when you invest into a property, there is a 1-year holding period that you have to hold that particular asset. Then after that time, you're able to go to the secondary marketplace and list your property or your tokens on the marketplace so you can get that instant liquidity. The great thing about that is that, say all of us on this call right now decided to invest in a property, right? And Mr. Darrell says that I've done well over this year. I've made my monthly returns. I'm good. I'm ready to sell, right? All he would have to do is take those tokens and put them on the marketplace. They will go to sell. Somebody else will basically take his ownership in that particular property and basically switch places. His name would come off of the LLC as a member. The new buyer will be put on as a member, but nobody else's ownership is altered because that one person wanted to change or wanted to sell their assets. So that is the benefit of tokenization and being able to do fractional ownership. And then when we look at your account options, you have your movements back here. So everything that you're doing on a monthly basis will be found back here. All of your movements, all of your earnings will be found back here. So you're able to track all of that. If you want to withdraw your funds, you will have a system wallet that your earnings will come into. You'll have 2 options. Well, actually, you'll have 3. You'll have an option to ACH from your back office. You have the option to get your earnings in crypto. And then we are also a fintech bank. So we also distribute our own debit card where you can put those earnings on as well. Take it anywhere Visa is accepted, pull cash from an ATM, however you want to do that. So those are the 3 options that you have on acquiring your earnings. And then say if you're an ambassador or somebody who wants to, you have to be a member or an ambassador to list a property. You can list that property on our site, put all of the details here, submit that to our underwriting, and then you will get a notification that your information has been received. And then, normally within 72 hours, we're able to say whether it's been approved or not. Then if it is approved, then we'll go forward with the necessary paperwork to get that house listed on our platform. So that is a example of what our buyer's experience will look like. And if you're just coming on to invest in properties, that is what you can expect to see. All right. So then we have we call it our marketing arm. You could either become a fractional investor or you could become an ambassador program. either one, or you can do both. It's really up to you. But say you only want to invest in property, you don't want to build out your agency, you don't want to be an ambassador. We have a basic membership, $9.97. You can invest in the assets on the platform. You get a basic real estate education. We believe that's most important. We always lead with education. And then you have your premium membership where you actually get access to private listings, 72 hours advance notice of assets that come on the platform, and then our exotic assets as well, like the oil wells, like the marijuana goals, the boats, the planes, those particular assets. You'll also have access to those. So when we're looking at, when combining both of those structures, you have a $24 trillion industry. And believe me, we're not the only one in this space. There's other people in this space, but there's a couple of key differences on how they operate and we operate, right? So they don't allow the participation of other professionals, right? So if you think about the real estate market by itself, there are millions and millions of real estate agents that these other programs have not considered or thought to bring into the fold. Who has the buyers? Who has the knowledge of the properties? It would be the real estate agents and other real estate professionals, but they exclude them. They cut out the middleman, right? They go straight to consumer. Also, traditionally, you have to hold that investment for 5 to 7 years, right? We have a 1-year hold time, and then some of the qualifications in order to participate, you have to be accredited investors, and that eliminates a lot of people being able to participate, right? So when we look at one of our competitors, Jeff Bezos, he invested in Arrive Homes, 37 million into this company, and we understand what Amazon's model is. They don't look to keep other businesses in business. They look to cut the middleman and go straight to consumer. So we understand with him being in this particular space, what the model is going to be. And then there's another company called Lofty AI. They're doing a similar to what we're doing as well. But again, they don't allow the affiliate program. They don't allow for the ambassadors. But we like what Lofty has done. They raised $5 million, and within 2 years, they had $100 million valuation. So, we point out these particular competitors in the market to show that the market is there. We have big players in the market, and that the revenues are there to be made, right? So we look at traditional real estate versus the tokenization model. So if I'm a real estate broker, it takes me 5 years out of my life to become a real estate broker. I'm able to recruit other agents under me, but then I'm constricted to a national, to my state or local database. And the average cost is about $350,000, right? But let's look at the tokenized model where we're able to provide some of the same services that a traditional broker on day one can provide. We're able to recruit other ambassadors to build out our agency day one. We're able to list on a national database, and starting Q2 of next year, we will have our international base as well, which you're able to market internationally as well. And then the average cost is somewhere around $25,000. So a fraction of the cost, and definitely a fraction of the time that it takes the traditional model in order to do the same activities, right? So when we look at the traditional model, agent has to make 60 calls per day, 5 clients per week, 15 hours per week for a less than 1% closing ratio. Now imagine if that same agent and all the people that agent spoke to, 97% of those were now able to be a buyer. Because now with $500, everybody has the opportunity to become a real estate investor, a real estate buyer with just $500. So now that agent has more productivity and can bring all of her buyers to the table instead of just that one perfect one, right? So we combine both business models and create a world-changing business shift in investment. So when we look at our ambassador program, we have you can come in as an associate all the way up to an elite ambassador. And again, guys, we're taking the same model. Think about the same model. One of the guys that Dave had on his call the other day, Mr. Fred, I think his name is Fred, and he told me that he managed 16 Caldwell Banker branches, real estate branches. This is that same model. This is the Coldwell Banker model. This is the Remax model. This is the same model on the blockchain. That's what this is. So when we look at our business model, we have 5 ways you get paid. You get listings to up to 2.5% on the listings, up to 2.5% on your buyers. Your membership fees, the guys who just want to come in and invest, they pay the $9.97 and the $47. You're getting a portion of the membership fees. There's a bonus pool that we have inside of the ambassador that you get to participate in, and then also other ambassadors that you bring in. That's 30% of those packages as well. But most important, just like any other franchise or business that you have to run, there's always certification. There's always a learning curve that has to happen in order for you to participate in and function and operate that business. Well, that's what we have here. We've established the National Association for Blockchain Professionals, where you can actually get a certification in blockchain technology in the domain of real estate. So this is a 6-hour course. All of our ambassadors, this comes with your ambassadorship. You're able to take this course so you can get certified. And what that does, that puts you ahead of the curve in a space where less than 1% of the world actually knows about what tokenization is, how it works, and how to utilize it. But half of the world's population is going to have to participate. So you guys are going to be the one that they're looking to have to for a better understanding of this market. So we always want to make sure you guys are equipped with the best information. So when we look at our ambassador program, again, you can come in, tokenize and associate. That's $12.94. You get 5% of your members, 0.5% of your members, 0.5% of your listings, and 3% of your earnings of the team of the ambassadors that you bring in yourself. Then you have your tokenized representative, 1% of your members and your listings, but now you start to build out that agency model where you have agents that's working with you, ambassadors that's working with you. You get 5% of everybody that you directly bring in and 2% of the people that they bring in. This is $49.97. Then you have your tokenized ambassadors, 1.25% of your members and your listings, 10% of the people that you directly enroll, 7% of the people that your team members enroll, and then this is $99.97. So, but right here is the regional ambassador. This is where it really starts to make sense. This is really that model where 1.5 of your members, 1.5 of your listings, you're making 15% of anybody you directly enroll, 12% of the people that they enroll, $25,000 package, but now you start to participate in the bonus pool. The bonus pool is made up of the breakage that happens company-wide. So not only are you're making commissions off your efforts, but you're overriding basically the whole company and participating in the bonus pool of production, right? Now you have your national ambassador, 2% on your members, 2% on your listings, 20% of the people that you directly enroll, 17% on the people that they enroll, $50,000 package, but now you're participating in 20% of that bonus pool. Your executive ambassador, 2.25% of your members and your listings, 25% of the people you directly enroll, 22% of the people that they enroll, 100,000 package, but now 30% of that bonus pool you're participating in. And then your elite ambassador, this is the top of the top, 2.5% of your members and your listings, 30% on the people that you directly enroll, 27% on the people that they enroll, 250,000, but now 40% of that investor pool, that bonus pool is you're participating in. And this is what I want us to understand, especially when we talk about half of the world's population, $24 trillion industry, right? In tokenized assets, I say it's probably roughly under 100 ambassadors currently. Think about that and think about that bonus pool when there's 1,000 ambassadors, when there's 10,000 ambassadors, when there's 100,000 ambassadors. What does that bonus pool look like for you? So that's the model that we look at. We look at all the other benefits that we provide. When you're talking about a turnkey business, we're providing you with a CMR membership for your tokenized marketplace, so you're able to invest as well. Your customized marketing collateral, we take care of all of that for you, and then your continued education to make sure you're on the cutting edge of everything that's happening in this industry. We make sure you have it. So when we look at, everything, it works when you work it, right? So if we look at a regional ambassador coming in, 10 people enroll, Just say you get 5 associates at the 1294, 3 representative, 2 ambassadors at 15% earnings, you're looking at $6,200. Now, say if those 10 people come in and they duplicate just 4 of them duplicate what you did. They go get 5 associates, they get 3 representative, 2 ambassadors, but on the second tier, you're making 12%. Times 4, that's another $19,896. Together, that's $26,114. Now, this position costs $25,000. So just with 10 people and those 4 people duplicating your efforts and doing the same thing that you do, you're already recouped your investment and you're in profit, right? So this is a model. Again, it's not for everybody, right? But for those who have that the builder mindset and they want to start a business and they want to invest in a new technology and new business, I think this is something that makes sense for you. So, you know, the question is right now is how do you take advantage of a multi-trillion-dollar industry, guys? And I believe you become a tokenized ambassador today or you become an investor today. Regardless, just make sure that you are paying attention to what's going on and you're taking full advantage of these times that we're in right now, because I believe that these times we will not see again for another 12, 13 years, 15 years at the most. And what I tell myself is that in 2008, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know enough. I wasn't educated. I'm 43 now. It's right in front of me. And I don't have another 13, 14 years to wait for this to come back around. So I'm making sure that I'm taking advantage of the opportunity that's in front of me, that's being presented. And I encourage you guys to do the same. So with that, I'll open it up if there's any questions.